Right, if you just joined us, this is still Enterprise, a morning from Enterprise Television. Now let's go to our main conversation for today. The police have announced that 2 of their personnel were killed when persons suspected to be members of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria, IMN, attacked a checkpoint. Abuja police spokesperson Josephine Ade said in a Sunday statement that the attack occurred in the Wuse area of the Nigerian capital, Abuja. But that's making a great trends across different media platforms, of course, and that's what we'll be discussing for today. Stay with us in the studios. Cyril Abaku. Thank you, Cyril.
Thank you for joining us.
All right, so let's get into the crux of the matter here. It happened that it was more devastating that it happened in the sole center of Nigeria.
Abuja.
At a time like this, 2 officers died, and also we learned that also
3 others were injured.
Yeah, exactly, and a trader also died in the course of all of this. What do you think is happening, especially when sort of issues have been brought up on the reason why this has continued, especially with the Shi'Ites?
No, the problem, there are certain headlines you read or stories that unfold, and if you weren't an insider, if you weren't informed enough, you may not understand the nuances of what is going on.
Okay.
But the Shi'ite federal government crisis isn't exactly what it is being made to look like. It's not a case of 2 adverse parties having a conflict. Every society has them or has its own, right? In Nigeria, long before Boko Haram,
Yes.
perhaps even before Medicine, right? Ibrahim El-Zakzaki's school in Iran, I think studied medicine there, he came back. And because, of course, Iran is Shia Muslim, is Shia Islam.
Yes.
He came back and began to recruit and form an organization that was supposed to create the same sort of revolution that the supreme leader led in Iran. So when we hear of Islamic Movement of Nigeria,
Yes.
we're not talking about another religious organization. We're not talking about Nigerian Muslims in the manner of a body corporate. You're referring to a renegade crop of adherents whose ultimate goal is to upturn Nigerian democracy and institute what could arguably be called a theocracy.
Okay.
So they do not agree with your constitution.
Okay.
They do not agree with the basic values. They do not agree with the institutions. They see no basis to respect, honor, pay allegiance to them. So this is like a sovereign entity within a sovereign entity. That's who they are.
And have they been prescribed?
Of course they've been.
Okay.
They have no regard for your laws. They have no regard for anything you're doing. In fact, in Kaduna State, the problem I have, Nigeria lets these things breed. In Kaduna, we had the bread for many years.
Yes.
They have no such kind of weapons. Police doesn't. You can't put a police station within that area. They don't. Yes, and they've been living like that on their own, believing their own rules, living on their own terms in Nigeria for nearly half a century now. They've been there. So we need to ask ourselves a few questions. What exactly is the viability of Nigerian state policy, and what does it take? The bomb that the Tunubiri error bomb in Tunubiri, why didn't it mistakenly land on the Shi'Ite camp? Why didn't it land on the IMN base? Why did it mistakenly land on innocent civilians? Why didn't it mistakenly land on whether it was mistaken or why didn't it land on? Why don't that? Because these people like this all through history. This was the way people like the supreme leader of Iran, the communists of Soviet Russia, Adolf Hitler himself, even Napoleon Bonaparte, it was like this. They all came to power. Little by little, nobody stopped it. Then it
didn't progress. Yes.
So when we're talking about Shi'Ites, now look at anytime you clash with them, the state must pay the price. and they know who they're targeting. You get what I mean? Now, who died? 2 policemen. Can Nigerian police kill them extrajudicially? Maybe not, because they have to face trial. And did you notice that as soon as the police said that they attacked, that it was the Shi'Ites who attacked them, and that they didn't attack them, that they just attacked them and burned their vehicles and so on.
Yes.
But who died?
The policemen.
Now they are going to face trial, and you know, a Nigerian trial is they can be there for Nigeria may even do the trial very poorly, very weakly, very, and a judge said tomorrow that it's striking out the case for want of lack for want of a diligent prosecution. So in the end, we are the ones losing. I don't understand why. Why will a group see what they've done to IPOB?
Exactly.
IPOB didn't even say that they were IPOB did everything IPOB has done is to do what civilized people do. They want a breakaway, fine. That may be against Nigerian law, but they are saying that's what they didn't take up arms against anybody. That's what they're doing.
No.
When Nigeria met IPOB with little force, I see what IPOB has become. Or what people do in the name of IPOB, at least. We can see it. So these IMN people, I'm wondering, what is our plan with them? What's that? When under Buhari, I don't know what we are doing with them. Just won the second term. It was from until they almost held Abuja on lockdown. Quickly, the president had to issue. You know, there was a shootout in which a youth corps member that was serving with a prominent national television station was killed in Abuja. Like you said, in the soul of the city. Then the president quickly released the names of proposed ministers to take attention away from that issue at that time. But it was a national scandal. So you ask yourself, how does Nigeria breed groups and people who don't believe in the viability of the Nigerian project and will not hide
their identity
and will do everything they can to undermine the Nigerian state?
Well, that brings the question, bearing in mind that what really we see our security agencies from top to the list, and then we ask ourselves, this question comes in mind. There is of course, no doubt, it seems as if the security agencies, there is a some people will presume them to be weaklings already. Do you agree with that? And also, what do you think that they on their own part can begin to do so that things can move forward in terms of security in Nigeria?
No, so I wish that security people had greater liberty to operate without being controlled or even remote controlled by governors.
By the government,
right?
Okay.
That's the first thing. So if you get the intelligence, if you're aware of anything, there's a name they call it in the forces, or in the force at least, in which you act. I'm trying to pick the name now. I think that's supposed to be the standing order for those who are doing the multi-agency joint task force fighting Boko Haram and Co.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's police, there's NSCDC, there's DSS, there's army, all of them. Every team has a touch of everybody. So what they do is that, if you see anything that is against the whatever, you can take action immediately before even reporting to anybody to the upline.
Yes.
So, but the police ought to operate in such an environment in which if they spot something, they will to act without calling a politician who is governor or president. Without that sort of liberty, they can't do much. Number two, even where the police or any other agency has been given powers to, did you recently read that the police IG came up against the police service commission and said that a lot of people that they recruited to join the police force were those who actually failed the test, and that a lot of them didn't even sit the examination. So
exams.
They were not fit physically, they were not fit mentally, they are not fit in a lot of ways, and yet they made the list. The list one. Over the weekend, Nigeria's intelligence spy chief, our chief spy, resigned from office.
Okay.
He resigned, the NIA. What you must have said equivalent, our own NIA chief resigned. Then, as I read the story, they tied it to a backstory.
Okay.
To when People's Gazette had reported that Rufai Abubakar, whom he succeeded, I think, was running the place in such a way that people within had to write a petition against the man. That he lacked the intellectual and physiological strength and competence to run an agency as complex and complicated as the NIA. Tie that back to the DSS. We did a story here some days ago, so about some weeks or months ago, about how people said that the DSS boss wasn't really on his metal, and that even the clinics in some places, the people they employed that also are using Google search and AI to check to do diagnosis, and that you are not being paid as they ought to be paid. And so when you hear these things, you are asking, you think these people are not human beings because they are trained? They are human beings like you and I. If the personnel is not competent, if the personnel are not thriving on excellence,
yes,
if they are mediocre, what is it not garbage in, garbage out? What is it then to do? Because they can't work miracles. They are human beings like you and I. The best intelligence agency in the world, the Mossad, in my own estimation, the Mossad, Israel's Mossad, or the Institute, are very good because they excel the others in what they call human intel or human needs. You have civil intelligence,
yes,
cyber intelligence,
yes,
all sorts of intelligence, even electronic intelligence. But human intelligence, the one that requires human wisdom and brain, the Israelis excel at it so well. So because now we want to treat this thing as they came to march on Sunday, and then police and them had the problem.
Interrupted, yes.
So people that have had a running battle with government, you didn't do profiling, you didn't get the intelligence, you are not aware that Sunday when they're going to hold the procession.
Much, yes.
You said everything came to happen when it came to happen. It means there's no see this thing. I because I know, like I said during the paper review, there's a lot that I don't believe is happening the way they want to make us believe it's happening. It's not organic. You can't tell me that. And so if you knew that they are going to come out and what was police's standard operating procedure for yesterday with them? Was it to just allow them, let them do that procession?
Or to stop
them? For them to stop them, should you stop them when they were already out to protest?
Or before?
Yes, to march, or should you have been before? When they are gathering logistics and stuff for the procession, did you do anything to subvert them? Because of course, all those are instruments of intelligence gathering. Sometimes they subvert the other side. You may suddenly hear that they were trying to sow this or something for the procession. Things got burnt or things got missing. Yes, we've seen that before. So what did you do to stop it? It was that who said that you and the now had a clash. And for goodness sake, what does it mean? Police and people having a clash. What does it mean? How does police have a clash with people? What does that really mean?
Especially if we look at the way the UK police handled their protesters. There was no canisters were shot, no live bullet was used, and all, and so on and so forth. But let's get into this particular matter better. Of course, we're not trying to discriminate on any faith and so. But if you take a look at the handling of situations like this, when Muslims, take part in some of these things, how they are treated, and how other sects, other religious sects, if they equally do the same thing, how they are treated.
Yes.
Don't you think that the Nigerian system, treats this particular sect as sacred cows? Because, of course, we won't even say this won't happen again.
Now, that's where I was going exactly. That what is this is a very deep conversation. So let's go. Let's even go there. If you ever hear of what we call the national question in Nigeria,
yes,
religion is a part of it. We call them fault lines, ethnicity, religion, and so on. Then, for one, whether you are Baha, there's one they call Baha, there's one they call then there's Judaism, of course, there's Christianity, there's Islam,
yes,
there's Shintoism, Buddhism, and so on.
Yes,
you can be whatever you want to be. You can be whatever, but you want to be, but do not threaten the sovereignty and viability of Nigeria. And that you're calling for war. I can tell you that this Shi'Ite problem requires a measure of force and a measure of persuasion. When I mean force, it doesn't mean that you go and shoot on armed people. Now, if they have a cache of arms right there, why should they possess arms? Because by the theory of the state, only the state should have the monopoly of violence. So anybody holding weapons, do you know that in war, the rule of engagement is neither for soldiers or civilians. Anybody holding a weapon is no longer a civilian. The snipers anybody can take you out. For the moment you can hold you are holding a weapon, you're no longer a civilian. They treat you as a soldier. which means that they will gun you down at the earliest convenience. So, if what you're practicing now wants to make you threaten the value of state policy, you are a threat to the state and you should be eliminated immediately. The law,
Yes, and because I actually wanted to take you on this, talking about, of course, elimination and so on and so forth. We've had other bodies, the Sunnis, have equally come to say that the Shiites are stubborn. Usually during Friday prayers, whenever you go to Abuja and see those occupying the road,
Yes.
right, usually the Shiites, and the Sunnis have come up to say these people are troublemakers, right? So what do you have to say on that particular matter with what you are talking about?
Well, especially with the consistency of this, always in Abuja.
The Shiites are not stubborn.
So what do you think it is?
The strength of one to prevail over the other is the weakness of one of the other to allow the one prevail over it. Maybe I should take it again. The strength of my right hand to prevail over my left hand is the weakness of my left hand to let my right hand prevail over it. There is a reason you can't have two states in a state. It's one state, one country. You can't have two armies, it's one army. You can't have two police, it's one police. You can't have everything is one. Is the state, state theory. This is about singularity of state institutions, critical organs of government. Are we allowing them block the roads during prayer? Or they won't allow us, stop them from blocking the roads during prayer? If you ask me, we are the ones who have allowed them to block the road during prayer. Yes, it is the state.
So you won't see that as tolerance of the state.
So it's not. So if it's tolerant, then we shouldn't be complaining. That it shouldn't even be for yes.
An issue in the first place.
It's not only in Abuja, and so the viewer doesn't feel like, because I'm Christian, right? There are churches that when they park on Sunday mornings, right, they park in a way that the double parking and the whole.
Exactly.
Yes, causing
In
impediment.
some places, maybe they've also gone to, and then they put their stickers out there. Now, in civilized societies, you can do church in the stadium, and yet we won't hear a word of what you're saying. Because once you designate a place a worship center, there are some specifications that you must have in building them. You must park the building as we do studios in TV. You park it, and then if you want to put your speaker, your microphone at decibel 100 on,
whatever.
It's up to you. Enjoy your fun, but
Do not
cause. Yes, so there are rules.
Interrupt, yes.
There are rules to these things. Yes, but is there also maybe a hidden agenda by some persons to sponsor unrest and conflict, not to profit from it? Maybe there is. Otherwise, no sane society allows itself to fall and succumb into this sort of mess, and then only to be looking for. Now, look at yesterday. Police issued a statement. The Shi'Ites also issued their own counter statement. You see the modus operandi. They are not recognizing authority. Police said something, they too said their counter statement. Now, if arrests have been made, okay, how soon can we charge them to court of prosecution? Because it shouldn't be out of the table. The more they offend, the more you arrest them, don't prosecute them. Then you can now go and say, okay, if arresting and prosecuting and jailing is not even solving the problem, let's stiffen the law. Okay? That when something has been done, punishments that are beyond just arrest and jailing will apply. Okay? You make that law. Then you now approach the leadership and say, come. Because there has to be one that is the Shiite and one that is the one that wants to take over Nigeria. On the point of them being Shiites, they are not offenders, please. They are Nigerians who must enjoy every other person enjoys. You engage them and say, you can't be filling up the roads this way. Okay?
Yes.
Can we buy off your current mosque? You can't build another one in a place where you will have all the whatever. If you believe that that's the solution, all right? Yeah, so we do that. But on no account, we should be blocking roads. You see, it's because we don't value our economy. We don't think that it is worth anything. Otherwise, you can't use productive hours. You can't be blocking roads. If we ever complain that the way government blocks subs transport and on election day is not good. How much? I mean, because we don't see that happening in the UK and other places.
No.
Life has to continue. Yeah. Also, because religion is a very private thing. A man's religion, It's a private thing. You shouldn't use it to stop. So yeah, so I mean, in Rwanda, you hear that they close down churches like that, and we want to go there. So we need to take a cue from what is right, from sane societies or sane societies. If you want to do what, if you insist that something about, go to a stadium, go to look for a place you can go and do that, but don't block, don't. That's against the law. And government should do its best to enforce that law. Societies move forward not because leaders even want to, right? But it's because leaders see what is right and just do it without counting the consequence. Even if sometimes it costs them their own political ambitions. But whether we have those sort of leaders in Nigeria today, that's another question.
For another day.
Yes,
for another day.
And Roberta, he did talk about occupying our stadiums, and of course they say where your right stops is where another person's begins. One of the athletes that represented Nigeria in cycling said that the reason why there aren't so many people doing the cycling thing is because the venue they were supposed to use for training are often always filled up by churches who take over those stadiums and deprive them of the opportunity of training.
Just to come into that, I don't blame those churches.
Okay.
You know who to blame, right?
Who do we blame? Because
somebody rented it out to them. Somebody who should have known that this is not the time to rent it out to a church or to anybody for that matter.
Okay.
Continue. The velodrome. Right. The velodrome, because velo, that's the French word for cycling. So the velodrome in Abuja, it's not just churches. Let me tell you the story.
Okay.
Every other party takes place there. It is your best place. It's your best venue for party. Now, the money that are using, first of all, is it the Ministry of Sports?
Yes.
Did they have a program that says that place can be rented for time for parties? And if yes, okay, it should not be a calendar for. Then if it was not, who is taking the money that they be paying for those parties?
Parties all this while.
And is that money going back into the development of cycling and that sport? So you see, from like I said, the power of the one to prevail over the other is the weakness of the other, and letting them now prevail over it. So let's not apportion the blame. I blame government. I blame past leaders.
Yes.
We live in a country, maybe you don't know, we live in a country where almost every ethnic, and these things come out as soon as when Buhari came up and started practicing his very, very, very barbaric and primitive jingoism and nepotism he was practicing as president of Nigeria. We started seeing Ijaw people brought out their flag and their currency notes. People, because Nigeria does not hold together very strongly. Any little thing,
division.
Yes. So that one can't be dealt with by force. So you have to appeal to people and sell and market Nigeria to them
as one.
And when you want to buy, you can now sell it.
Now, with all of this fragmentation, when you look into the future, do you see a Soviet Union fragmentation also possibly happen in Nigeria?
Well, it will become inevitable if leadership continues this way. But if we get a good leader who is not tribalized and who believes that he can bring people together as much as possible,
yes,
Nigeria can, and let me say this on record, Nigeria will one day re-civilize the world.
That's a tall walk.
Yes. Thank you very much, Cyril, for that one.
Yeah. Just like we often say, one of the most popular catch statement or phrase from Nigerians, especially from those in authority, is unity is that's unity in our diversity. There's unity in our diversity.
Yes.
And that's basically, and that diversity we're talking about cuts across religion, cuts across faith, cuts across tribe, ethnicity, and so on and so forth. So I want to believe that if we really understand what that catchphrase means, it will go a long way to helping us have a sustainable country. If you ask me.
Yes, same here too.
All right, so this is just about the size of our package today. We'd love to say thank you to you, Cyril Abaku.
Thank you very much for joining us.
And being part of our show today. Roberta,
thank you, Henry.
All right, so please do well to join us on our website for more information and these and more at Enterprise TV News.com, and also like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. I am Henry.
And I am Roberta.
On behalf of the entire team, I'd love to say thank you once more.
You.
And bye-bye.
Bye.